G'day champion, it's Stuart Stone here from Health and Fitness Over 40. You've wanted more health videos, we're going to deliver here, and today's video is a response video to, let's call him a hater, but he's probably just more an angry man. So let's get into it. So what am I talking about? Well, I did the video, the benefits of smoking, and I made it very clear in that video that the best benefit of smoking is not to start in the first place. But I talked through different benefits when you stop smoking. In other words, you get rid of the hacking cough, your blood pressure returns to normal, and over time your body can regenerate and heal in such a way that after 5, 10, 15 years, most of those changes caused by doing that with a small plant, most of those changes are reversed and your body can adapt and heal. And of course, I had the comment, and it was a very emotional frustration / anger / pain filled comment from a gentleman. We'll call him Rob. I have taken the comment down because I didn't want him getting any visceral responses to his comments, and so for his own dignity, respect, and also I'm going to display the comment here, but I've removed his last name. So you haters out there, don't go hating on Rob, and guess what, I've taken down the comment so he doesn't cop it in the first place. But here we go. So Rob talks over here about the situation where once the damage is done, it is irreversible, and he's absolutely right. And then he told the story about his poor wife who took 16 years to die from smoking. So let this be a lesson to you people out there who have filthy, disgusting habits that are reversible. Just learn the lesson first. This poor lady, at the start here, he's talking about having her sections of her lungs removed and then stapled. So that's open chest surgery, massive surgery. And it suggests at this point that she's either got lung cancer or she's got emphysema. So disgusting stuff where the architecture of the lungs have changed. They're no longer bags or sponges where you can distribute oxygen to the body effectively, and it's slowly killing her. Then she's on respirators, consistent chest infections. She ends up on a CPAP machine, which, they're just disgusting looking machines. You need to wear that thing so that you don't die in your sleep of sleep apnea. It's giving you oxygen all night. You kind of end up looking like Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. Just disgusting, degrading, disgraceful way to live, all from a filthy, disgusting habit, as Rob talks about at the bottom of his rant. So I get where you're coming from, Rob. I'm sorry for the pain that you've been through. And yes, I'm sorry that your wife went through such a 16-year-long painful demise and ultimately her death. So I get where you're coming from emotionally, where you say there are no benefits to smoking. You're absolutely right. But, and here's the but, and here's where the education comes in for you people out there who may hold a different view or the same view or whatever else to Rob. There is a massive lag period or a gap where you start smoking, and then there is a period where if you stop anywhere along this timeline before the damage is irreparable, as Rob says at the start, when the damage is done, there's no coming back. He's probably 90% right in that respect. But anywhere along this sliding scale where you're getting the cough, but you haven't yet got the lung cancer or the architectural changes in your lungs, where, let's be blunt, they're fucked, and your life is never going to be the same again. But if you stop anywhere in that lag period and turn it around, your body has an amazing ability to regenerate and heal. So let's go through a few of the things that can happen. Now, if you haven't seen the video yet on the benefits of smoking, come over here. It's in the card up above. Click on it. It's going to show you what happens when you give up smoking, as long as you haven't reached the point of irreversible damage. But let's look at some other diseases right now. Similar situation, your body's amazing capacity to heal. And the purpose of this video is to respect your body, understand its amazing ability to heal, and then at the end of the video, we're going to talk through the things that you can do to help your body heal and work the way it's designed to. So let's start off with fatty liver. In other words, we have liver, the organ of detoxification, an amazing organ for the myriad of metabolic processes that it does to keep you alive and keep you healthy. So let's say we have a healthy liver over here, and then poor lifestyle choices, whether it's alcoholism and other various things that we can do, too much antibiotic use, whatever else. And we get to a point here where you have fatty liver. Now here's a general aside on the liver. It's such an amazing organ of regeneration. You can destroy up to 90% of the function of the liver before it shows up obviously on any blood tests or in your day-to-day living, the most obvious one being jaundice. But fatty liver is an event here which becomes a big warning stage to say, you know what, your lifestyle is rooted, you should stop doing what you're doing. So let's use the example of alcoholism. Let's say you get to the point of fatty liver where you're starting to get a few metabolic changes and your doctor looks at your liver function test and says, dude, you got to stop drinking the alcohol. Now, if you stop drinking, that liver can regenerate and heal in just 6 weeks. In other words, it will respond like you've not attacked it with alcohol. This is why in your 20s you can go out, drink like a fish, get absolutely shit-faced, and then you bounce back and you can go to work on Monday like nothing's happened. Yes, you might have a bit of a dehydration, you might have a bit of a hangover, you might have some vitamin depletion, whatever else, but really give yourself 24 hours and then how you're bouncing back, and then 7 days later you do it all again. And you can get away with that for a period of time. But if you constantly assault your body and get it to a stage of fatty liver, that's not the end for you. As long as you stop doing the shit that caused the problem in the first place, your body will regenerate. So going back to our friend Rob at the beginning, whose wife died horribly after a 16-year battle from the permanent effects of smoking, if she'd stopped anywhere in that lag period, her body can regenerate and heal. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing structure. Same thing with fatty liver. If you're drinking too much alcohol, you get the fatty liver, well, you can reverse that quite readily. When you flip over into cirrhosis of the liver, in other words, you've assaulted the body with chemicals that aggressively that it has changed the whole DNA and architectural structure of the liver, there's no coming back from that. You're screwed. Okay, that's liver transplant or die. So again, there are lag periods that are important. Let's look at another one, heart disease. So if you treat your body like a toilet and you eat all the wrong foods and you don't get the exercise and all the dumbass shit that people do, well then you can get occlusion, in other words, partial or complete blockages of the arteries around the heart. That's called coronary artery disease. It looks like this. You've got a 30, 40, 50%, 60%, 70% occlusion, and sooner or later that blockage is going to be sufficient enough that that section of the heart is not going to get blood supplied to it. That's called an infarct, or to Joe Public, it's called a heart attack, where heart tissue dies. Now, if that heart attack is sufficient, if that blockage in those arteries is sufficient, that heart is unable to pump effectively, guess what? It stops pumping, you die, or hopefully you get a heart transplant in time, or whatever it is. But is coronary artery disease reversible? Well, when we look at the first graphic there, we see the occlusion of that artery, and then in the second graphic, and it's just about 2.5 years later, that artery is clear. How do we do it? This is where we get to the good side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you can appreciate and respect what your body's able to do. If you treat it like a toilet, your life's going to end up shit. Let's be blunt about it. But the most important thing, you know, I hear this all the time. What can I take? What can I do to make my life better? You know, I'm overweight, I've got heart disease, what can I do? And the obvious answer is this one. Stop doing the shit that caused the problem in the first place. So if you're getting emphysema or lung cancer, stop smoking, get rid of them. You know, you had 10, 20, 30 years to get rid of the cigarettes before you got to the lung cancer stage and went, holy shit, this is real, I want to make a change. Too late. 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, change your lifestyle before it becomes a crisis. Same thing, you want to keep drinking like a fish, get the fatty liver, get the cirrhosis, guess what? It took you 10, 20, 30 years of dumbass behavior to be in a situation where you need a liver transplant or it's going to kill you. Same thing with coronary artery disease or heart disease. You eat too many refined animal fats, you get overweight, you get obese, you stop being active. That's what happens. But how do you reverse it? You go onto a green diet, and that stuff can reverse your body's ability to heal itself in 2.5 years. Amazing. That's what it looks like in this graphic. So what can you do? Rule number 1, stop doing the dumb shit that caused the problem in the first place. And they're so obvious. Just take out of the equation the obvious stuff. So cigarettes and alcohol, the 2 biggest killers on the planet, lifestyle-wise. Number 3, cut back on animal products. Now, I'm not saying to you, I have vegan friends who, for ethical reasons, they say no animal products at all, don't eat it, don't wear leather, whatever else. I sit somewhere in the middle. Let's be smart about it. Now, if I had a cigarette today and didn't have a cigarette for another month, my body would be able to deal with the effects. Same thing with social drinking. I can have a couple of beers today and then I can stay off it for 2-3 weeks, and the effects aren't going to manifest in my body. Same sort of deal. Hey, instead of cutting out all the animal products, when I'm talking from a health perspective here, not ethical reasons, so sorry to my vegan friends who do this for ethical reasons. Love you, what you're trying to do for the planet. I'm just talking from a practical point of view for the most people around here. You need to cut back the consumption of your animal products. If you go cold turkey, there's going to be a hole on your plate where you're going to want to fill it with something. You're not going to stick to it. But if we just started to peg back and say, right, okay, instead of having meat 5 nights a week, let's have it once a week. Let's have it once every 10 days, once a fortnight. My body can offset the changes of too much animal products. Okay, so too many animal proteins in my body. And instead of having milk every day, I tell you what, how about we just cut back on that? And in fact, let's just try and cut it out for 10 days. But what about my calcium? What about my protein? Well, the cow that you're eating or drinking its milk that's giving you that calcium and protein, where the hell did it get it from? It got it from the green shit on the ground that it eats. So how about you take the lesson from the cow or the gorilla or the monkey or the elephant or the rhino or the giraffes or all of these super strong, powerful animals that have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and eat what they eat. More green stuff, less animal products. Less eggs when we start looking at eggs and cholesterol, or eggs and chicken and the risk of prostate cancer. Guess what, guys? You want to cut back your risk of prostate cancer? Cut out chickens, cut out eggs, and also get more flax seeds in your diet. In fact, I'm going to link another video over here from something that I did looking at the research about 2 years ago. I'm not going to repeat it here. I'm going to take a deep dive there. Check it out for yourselves. But if you want to reduce your risk of prostate cancer, get rid of chickens, eggs, and eat more flax seeds. So a couple of teaspoons a day of flax seeds, put them in a coffee grinder, throw it in your smoothie, you beauty, done, straight into your system, very good for you. Eat more plant-based foods, lower your weight, get rid of your excess fat, become more active, drink more water, get more rest, have more fun, have more laughter, live a life that's worth living, and you'll be able to avoid these lifestyle diseases that are fully preventable. And that comes down to taking responsibility, getting a bit of education, and then doing what you need to do. So that's the purpose of these videos, to help you have that education, have that understanding, to help you help yourself and have the quality of life that you deserve.